Greetings, Grandfather. Now this message is for all those who live in the European continent and would include the British Isles as well as China and like that. Not so much India, for example, or Asia, but the more northern areas. As you've noticed, there's been more than an abundance of rain, and while this has been tragic for many peoples, there is a reason for it. I know that many of you have been praying for the rain to stop and let up. But Earth, Mother Earth, is attempting to provide for you a deepening and supportive water table, as it's called. For there has been demands upon waters that are fresh and drinkable that have been increasing. This is not so much because of the population, but rather because of how you're using the water. I'm not going to demand or command or anything like that you conserve water, for there are many peoples and even businesses who are working towards that end, and they are doing well. I am simply here to say that because the polar ice caps are melting, and this is real, you can expect that Mother Earth will do all she can to provide for a deepening water table that might just make up for the seasonal melts that contribute to your water supply. This does not mean that you're going to experience catastrophic storms on an ongoing basis, but you might experience storms that are larger than usual for the next 2 to 3 years, but not beyond that. I'm talking about storms now that are unusual. So, now that you've been warned, so to speak, you can plan ahead. Build more water reservoirs if you can. I'm not saying that there's going to be a drought, but because you are using more water than you've been using, you have to plan ahead. Now, be aware that this also applies to the southern hemisphere, and I will say more about that another time. But at this time, I'm speaking to those in the areas I've mentioned. I will speak about other areas in time. But one last bonus for you. Know that the trading partners that you have known and interacted with in the past, even for many, many years, will expand. Be open. No matter how different the form of government is from your own, to trading, it will help to bring you all together. Events such as the Olympics are wonderful in that they encourage you to see how you can all get along, and youth can often do this and set a good example, as in such sporting activities. Expand that so that you can raise generations who consider peoples from all over the world to be their natural friends. You do not have to discard your discernment, but try to let go of your prejudgment of peoples because of who and what their forefathers were. It's all right to proceed with caution, but don't, as they say in the old-time Western movies, shoot first and ask questions later. You might just be harming someone who's going to be your best friend or business ally. The world is uniting now, and you can embrace it and trust it more than you have in the past. Good life.